people, don't sit there and talk like me. What church gonna do? Because it is so great.
My life is a testimony, oh. Holy Road has done me something, oh. My life is a testimony.
So, this little church in the middle of a hustling and bustling town has a pulse. The pastor and his wife. You know what? When two are joined together, what can't you do? I'm telling you, it was a vibe. You can already feel how they're impacting the community.
Oh, 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 it is a marvelous thing. Oh.
I find it significant that a lot of these churches are built on the experience of the pastor. You know, their journey seems to be that their testimony impacts the people in a very real way, and that you hear.
Get Sagicor School Companion Health Plan for as little as $2,540 per month. The time by Sagicor Life is
7 o'clock. Tonight in CVM News at 7, Police Commissioner hails divisional and area leadership efforts for declines in major crimes. Trough leaves showers across the country at year's end. West Kingston celebrates 0 gun murders in 100 days. On Inspire Jamaica, we shop with the Santa in blue. And in sports, Premier League leaders Liverpool pound West Ham 5-0.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7, the weekend edition. It's the last Sunday of 2024. I'm Ronaldo Adams. Thanks for joining us. Sections of the country have been left wet since the holiday. The Met Office notes a weakening trough across Jamaica. The trough is forecast to weaken even further throughout tonight. However, a ridge is also expected to build across Jamaica by Monday morning and remain for the next few days. For the next 24 hours, conditions are likely to be partly cloudy. Come New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and Thursday, partly cloudy mornings are expected across northeastern parishes, otherwise mainly sunny days. Meanwhile, there's a weakening cold front across the eastern Caribbean and another across the Gulf of Mexico. A man is dead after being shot multiple times by an unknown assailant in the vicinity of Hope Road in St. Andrew. The incident reportedly transpired on Saturday. The victim has since been identified as popular Canadian dancehall party promoter Wayne Thompson, also known as World Great. In a video captured by CCTV camera, Thompson can be seen talking with a man at a gate. However, moments later, the man appears to pull out a gun, firing multiple shots at Thompson. The suspect then ran from the scene but returned to fire what seemed like a final shot before escaping. The police are yet to ascertain a motive for the gruesome killing. Investigations continue. The Jamaica Constabulary Force is reassuring its commitment to fulfilling its mandate by protecting law-abiding citizens in the coming year. This, as the police commissioner highlights major achievements for the force in 2024, while underscoring areas of focus for 2025. Trisha Gay Kelly has the details.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, is celebrating many wins as the force reflects on its work in 2024. The review highlights a reduction in major crimes including murders, rapes, and robberies across the island, an achievement which Commissioner of Police Dr. Kevin Blake lauds. He says going into 2025, members of the public can feel safe in public spaces and go about their business with confidence.
Throughout 2024, we continued to refine our operational strategy, integrating it closely with the work of the intelligence community. This has enabled us to identify, target, and apprehend high-risk offenders who pose significant threats to public safety. To those offenders who believe they can evade the reach of justice, let me be clear. We know who you are, and our resolve will not waver.
This commitment, he adds, can be attributed to the force's efforts to increase police presence in towns and other major public spaces.
Our ability to maintain law and order has been significantly bolstered through enhancements to our policing capabilities. A key initiative in this regard has been the launch of the Beat Officer Patrol Division. What began in Kingston and St. Andrew has now expanded to 12 divisions with 361 members, including 184 from Peace Headquarters, deployed in Jamaica's urban centers.
The Beat Officer Patrol Division initiative began in March of this year and falls under the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement branch in the force. Dr. Blake says it's been quite effective over the past few months.
This initiative has brought a renewed sense of visibility, accessibility to policing, particularly in high traffic and high risk areas. Beat officers have helped to deter criminal activities and have been instrumental in building trust with the public through their consistent engagement in the business community.
In addition, the commissioner says even more police officers will be patrolling public areas with the renovation of some of the force's resources.
We have modernized our bike patrol unit with the introduction of new e-bikes. These e-bikes have proven to be versatile and efficient, allowing officers to navigate challenging terrains and congested areas while maintaining the agility and responsiveness needed to address criminal activities effectively.
The JCF is also anticipating even further reductions in major crimes next year as the security force ramps up efforts to restore public order. Trisha Gay Kelly, CVM News.
And despite years of recording some of the highest murder figures in the country, St. James managed to reduce the murders and slash major crimes for 2024. Commissioner Blake cites the strong leadership of the Area 1 team and the hard work of its members for the reduction that impacted the overall reduction in major crimes for the year. Several divisional and area commanders were commended on the work done to stabilize or reduce crime in their spaces. Meantime, in Hanover, the police's efforts bore fruits, although the year's activities left many locals concerned and in fear for their lives. Headed by Superintendent Andrew Nish, the commissioner lauded the team for securing declines.
Area 1, led by Assistant Commissioner of Police Glenn Miller, has shown exceptional performance, with all divisions recording reductions in major crimes. St. James, often a focal point for crime reduction initiatives, Superintendent Aaron Samuels and his team have worked to produce a 9% decline in overall major crimes, with a very significant 34% reduction in murders. Similarly, Westmoreland, under the superintendence of SP Othniel Dobson, demonstrated steady progress, with a 24% drop in major crimes, including a 14% reduction in murders. Meanwhile, Superintendent Milton's team in Trelawney maintained stability, showing no increases or decreases in murder, but registering a 23% reduction in major crimes overall. Trelawney may not be seeing a reduction in murder, but must be commended for keeping the numbers low. These achievements highlight the strides made in Area 1, reflect the effectiveness of our crime reduction strategies, and the dedication of the teams working to ensure safer communities.
And still on crime, the Western Kingston constituency, known for its savage years, has recorded no gun murders in over 100 days. That's according to Member of Parliament Desmond McKenzie, who was addressing residents at a Christmas treat recently. He says this is a major achievement for the constituency.
One of the things that we can't deny that over the years we have seen many acts of violence taking place in the constituency. Innocent persons have lost their lives. And why I say it's a good Christmas? Because over 120 days have passed, and there's not one reported case of violence using the guns in West Kingston. God be praised.
Residents of Western Kingston were overjoyed after being treated by their Member of Parliament in recent days. Not only were they fed, they also left the venue with goodie bags for their families. Trisha Kelly tells us more.
Many extend a helping hand to the less fortunate this time of year. One constituency stands out for its continued contribution to its residents. The Western Kingston area includes communities like Tivoli Gardens and Denham Town, known for its grittier days. This, however, has not stopped the constituency's annual treat for the elderly held around the festive season. This year, residents were grateful for the continued recognition from their Member of Parliament, Desmond Mackenzie.
Thank you, Mr. Desmond Mackenzie, for right through the years, and many of the time you are stood up beside us as a father next to our first father.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
for
much.
all of the food and everything.
I was in the hospital, I just come out and I read here. I give thanks to everything that you have done for me, Clary.
Thank you for everything that you have done for me. God richly bless you.
The residents expressed gratitude not only for the food, but also for the MP's commitment to their well-being over the years. Mackenzie, who is also the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, says there's a reason behind the treat's annual occurrence.
We are doing this because West Kingston is special. We have been very resilient over the years. We have not lost faith. Our courage is stronger, very strong.
The initiative by former Prime Minister Edward Seaga began in 1963. Since then, it's been a staple in the constituency's social calendar. Minister Mackenzie says the treat saw only few individuals when it initially began. However, over the years, the numbers have grown.
You have persons who are not from West Kingston who have come to join us. And we have not turned away anybody. What Mr. Seaga taught us from then was the importance of Christmas is not just about fun. It was about sharing and ensuring that those who are not as fortunate as we are, that they have the benefit of the Christmas.
The treat was also extended to shut-ins in various nearby communities, as well as residents at the Denham Town Golden Age home. Trisha Kelly, CVM News.
As the new year approaches, many Jamaicans flock to the church in hopes of turning a symbolic new leaf or setting a divine tone for the days ahead. However, at one Western Jamaica-based church, rather than indulging in the season's feasts, to curb the bloodletting and angst among the people, there's a spiritual prescription. Nika Lewis reports.
Turning a new leaf will not be just about adorning in fine apparel or engaging in lavish lifestyles as many count down to 2025 for one church in Trelawney. For this group exposed to the changing realities of life in Jamaica, there is need for a strong entrance of a spiritual kind in the new year.
There are some demons who don't respond to anything at all unless they go in fasting and prayer. He said these things don't go out except by prayer and fasting. So if we want to get to the root of some stuff and some real depth and stronghold of darkness, we have to intensify our prayer and fasting. We are starting the year with 3 days prayer and fasting. Let me tell you, amen, those that are on medication, be guided by your doctor.
That was the essence of his brief remarks as he paved the way for the end-of-year sermon on Peel Street in Falmouth. In recent years, much of the crime from other parishes have seeped into the once quiet and peaceful space, demanding greater pushback from the local church community. Meanwhile, Pastor Thompson urged the congregation to hold fast to God's unchanging hands in the days to come, stressing other things will fade, but not his love.
Jesus was in the beginning, in the creation, so too will he be in the end. And as life continues with us, if you have wealth, exalt Jesus. If you have health, use it to exalt Jesus. If you have possessions, use it to exalt Jesus. Whatever it is that you have in this life, make sure that it is not exalting you, but it is exalting Jesus. Why? It is only what is for Christ that will remain.
Her message, pregnant with hope, echoed one of overcoming with a strong spiritual relationship.
There is power to defeat the wages of hell, and it is through Jesus Christ. We can overcome, Church of God. Somebody say, I'm going to overcome. Somebody say, I'm going to overcome. Somebody say, with Jesus, I'm going to overcome.
And at the end of the service, 3 people committed to a new way of living in 2025 in what was dubbed impromptu baptisms. Nika Lewis, CVM News.
Stay with us. We take a quick break.
Join my private room. Only $1,000 for a grand time.
That I know me. We never said that. But who going to believe me?
That is correct. $4,350,000. Yes, go ahead. $4 million? I never approved that.
Yes, me go doctor tomorrow. So me have to get the money today, no longer. Then no me face that. Whenever I make no record, I beg nobody no money.
Deepfakes are AI-generated images and videos made to look and sound like people we know and trust. They're used to spread misinformation, destroy reputations, and are used to commit fraud and scams. Don't fall victim to deepfakes. Protect yourself. For more information, visit broadcastingcommission.org or scan the QR code on screen.
Our days get a little complex sometimes. Often so many things make sense, yet so many do not. We are being intentional about giving prominence to the big stories in order to clarify and enlighten. Lead Story explains who, what, when, where, why, and how. Lead Story with George Davis, weekdays at 6:30 p.m. on CVM TV.
Thanks for staying with us. Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter has died aged 100. The center he founded has confirmed. The former peanut farmer lived longer than any president in history and celebrated his 100th birthday in October. The Carter Center, which advocates for democracy and human rights around the world, said he died on Sunday afternoon at his home in Plains, Georgia. Here's a look back with the BBC.
Candidate, as a president, I'll never tell a lie.
That was the essence of Jimmy Carter. People may have questioned his ability, but not his honesty, sincerity, and passion that propelled a peanut farmer to the presidency. He was born in the Deep South in Plains, Georgia. James Earl Carter cut short a promising naval career to return home after the death of his father. He turned the family business around. Growing peanuts made Jimmy Carter rich. Then came the lure of politics. He served 2 terms in the state Senate and one as Georgia's governor, before bringing his faith-based politics to Washington and a run for the presidency.
My name It's Jimmy Carter, and I'm running for president.
He campaigned on a pledge to bind America's wounds after Watergate and Vietnam.
I, Jimmy Carter, do solemnly swear.
It was a presidency that would be marked by one lasting foreign policy high and marred by a number of lows. In 1979, joining hands with Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin and Egypt's Anwar Sadat, sealing the Camp David peace accords was his finest hour. It's still America's most significant peacemaking moment in the Middle East.
So let us now lay aside war. Let us now reward all the children of Abraham who hunger for a comprehensive peace in the Middle East.
A look now at regional and international news.
We begin with the news in the region. In Guyana, Vice President Barrett Jagdeo recently addressed the government's refusal to renegotiate ExxonMobil's production sharing contract, citing legal limitations and the importance of maintaining investment momentum. Speaking on transparency and consistency, Jagdeo dismissed opposition calls for renegotiation as optics while outlining the government's strategy for long-term oil and gas development. More from credible sources.
They've said clearly to everyone, including us, that they are not interested, they're not accepting renegotiations. The provision that APNU put in the PSA is that it has to be done with the consent of both parties, the agreement of both parties. If one party says no, which they have already said, what do you do then? Then you go to, the next stage is a dispute. You have a dispute. That's where you want us to go at this stage. That's it. And we're not doing things for the show or the PR benefits.
In Trinidad and Tobago, we must get governance right, and what we do outside of good governance, we will do inside when we get in government. This from prominent member of the Congress of the People COP, Wendell Eversley, as he voiced concerns about the legitimacy of Prakash Ramadar's appointment as COP interim leader by outgoing leader. Here's TTT News.
Exploring outgoing Congress of the People COP leader Kurt Sinnett's authority to appoint an interim leader without the involvement of the National Executive, Mr. Eversley made note of Article 17 of the COP Constitution, which covers the resignation, replacement and removal of officers.
Where the office of political leader is vacant for any reason other than the end of the term of the office of the National Council shall summon the special conference of the National Assembly within 90 days of the date of such office being vacated by the election of a political leader. In the interim, the National Council shall appoint one of the deputy leaders to act as political leader. This is in the Constitution.
And in international news, it has been confirmed that 179 people have died after a plane crashed while landing at an airport in South Korea. 2 surviving crew members were pulled from the debris and taken to hospital. Details from the BBC.
Oh, you're inside the airport now. Thank you so much for joining us from there. Tell us about the people who you've been seeing and speaking to. The families have gathered there just waiting for news, aren't they?
Yes, that's true, Lucy. There have been 170 confirmed deaths so far, and people here, yet many of them are still unidentified. So many people, mostly the families of the bereaved, are waiting here, waiting for the announcement or the identification. So right now I'm standing inside the airport where also many other families of the bereaved are staying, and from even far away, I can hear some of the families screaming and crying as they hear the announcement of the death of their loved ones.
And most of the people on board the plane, were they from South Korea? I understand they may have all been on holiday in Thailand for Christmas.
That is true. It is known that most of the people who are in the plane were families. Even there was youngest was born in 2021, and there were many family members all together. And also, most of them are South Korean nationals, although there were 2 Thai nationals as well.
That's it for regional and international news. I'm Nika Lewis.
As we await the new year, many children have wishes too. Sadly, they won't come true. For this Inspire Jamaica, we invite you to spare a thought for a group of children with lifelong pain. Scars not easily dressed, but there are ways to begin to ease the agony. It was a sight to behold, some of the little ones traumatized because of the deadly impact of violence, up close and personal with armed individuals shopping together. It's over to Curlin Brown for the full story.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can.
To say camaraderie often develops through shared experiences was so real for 6 children, handpicked because they no longer have a mother. Why? Those women were murdered. How? Victims of crime in 2024. The gun. It's a tough way to begin an Inspire Jamaica report, but it's the reality for 2 sets of 3 children each for their mothers. The siblings left to question, why did our mothers have to go to their graves, leaving us so young? 2 at 10. 1 8-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, and an 18-month-old. But such mutual support from the ones known to be among the firsts on the crime scenes, the ones getting all the gory information, the men and the women in blue coming true for these children, a support network initiative threatening to spread for the motherless minors.
I'm Inspector Cherie Greaves, the Territorial Officer for St. Andrew North Community Safety and Security. Now, our Shop with a Cop program is the first for St. Andrew North Division, the first of its kind. It was actually conceptualized in St. Catherine South. Our ably Assistant Commissioner of Police, acting Christopher Phillips, he brought it to Area 5. He is in charge Area 5. And now Area 5 comprised St. Andrew North, St. Catherine North, St. Catherine South, and St. Thomas divisions.
These cops with hearts got help to bring the Christmas cheer of kindness and generosity to the bleeding hearts of these little ones who soaked up the opportunity.
This will be a surprise. How you feeling today? What in there?
How are you feeling today?
What in there? Happy.
You happy?
Yeah.
How you get today?
Controller car.
What's inside the bag?
A controller Lamborghini.
Ah, that is it. What's inside your bag? Same thing?
You want to put on one of them and take one of them? Yippee, take one of them.
No, let them choose. Let them choose. Let them choose. Don't. Actually, hold on for if you hold on for.
I want to choose a dog without kitchen set. Maybe put down the name. Yeah, I know. We heard this. Kitchen set, so choose a dog.
Even if this was only a band-aid, it was special and tenderly applied, a representation of their JCF badges, delicately capturing the essence of good over bad, while being sensitive to 2 tragic cases that altered 6 young lives.
One of the mother, she was killed by her spouse, allegedly. The other was killed during a drive-by. And so we partnered, the St. Andrew North Community Safety and Security partnered with the Orange Grove Bridgemount Citizens Association, and they actually provided the funds. Now we became the Santa for them, and we took them, the St. Andrew North Community Safety and Security team, along with our commanding officer, Mr. Randy Sweeney. We took them to Answers for Children, where they were feted, they were treated with gifts of their selection. And so because we saw how impactful this program was and how they were really appreciative of it, and we see the importance of it, to extend, to showcase another side of policing, the proactive side, the side that interacts with the communities that we serve, the various groups within the communities. And so we will be having this program as a mainstay, a key feature within the St. Andrew North Division. Next year, we'll be adjusting the criteria and we'll be selecting families based on that list of on the criteria. We have done an impactful initiative. We see how it has impacted their lives and how they are grateful for it.
On behalf of all the video